Whilst researching events surrounding the Battle of the Bogside, which took place on the 12th of August in 1969, we came across a 12-page report marked Department for the Taoiseach, which is present in the National Archives in Ireland. The title of the report is an eyewitness report by Seamus Brady on events in Derry. The creation date for this report was the 19th of August in 1969. Seamus wrote in this report, "There are people who for 3 days in the past week, on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, the 12th, the 13th and the 14th of August in 1969, defended this area against attacks by armed Royal Ulster Constabulary using armoured cars and tear gas. It was a rebellion in which no political grouping has been involved. The Derry Citizens Defence Association consists of around 12 persons, most of them middle-aged men who are in business in the city and a number of unemployed men. They have deliberately avoided involvement with political groups within the city. Despite the claims made by the sixth county government, the IRA has no hand or part in the rebellion that has taken place in Derry City." At this point, I would like to ask people to remember the words of Seamus Brady. They will become very relevant as this documentary unfolds. So the question is, who is Seamus Brady? Testament from Captain James Kelly of Irish G2 Military Intelligence would go on to unfold who Seamus Brady is and what his role was in Northern Ireland in the time frame surrounding August 1969. My final visit to Belfast was in the second week of September 1969. On this occasion, I was accompanied by Seamus Brady, a director of a Dublin-based public relations firm who at that time was working with the propaganda unit formed by the Dublin government to bring to the international notice the events in Northern Ireland and the background to them. I first met Seamus some days previously at a luncheon in McKee Barracks, Dublin, arranged by Colonel Heffron. Seamus was a Derry man with over 30 years journalistic experience. Mr. Brady was well acquainted with the northern scene, and on Colonel Heffron's suggestion, he had agreed to introduce me to various people in the north. On page 11 of Seamus Brady's correspondence to Jack Lynch's office, the Taoiseach in Dublin, at the bottom of page 11, Seamus Brady writes, "There are plans in Derry, I understand, to blow up the Walker Monument. Gelignite is ready, but the only deterrent is the fact that there is still one Catholic family remaining in the little row of houses below the monument and outside the walls known as Naylor's Row. I was told that when that family is evacuated, they will blow up the monument." Now, I want to draw your attention to what is written here, to the very words that Seamus Brady would have corresponded to the Taoiseach's office. I mean, he reported of a bomb plot to blow up the Walker Monument. The Walker Monument is on the walls, the city walls of Londonderry. And here we have a journalist. And if we listen to James Kelly's words, Captain James Kelly of Irish G2 Military Intelligence, well, he said that Seamus Brady was working in the propaganda unit set up by the Irish government to put a positive spin on the events of 1969. Now, here we have this very man telling the Taoiseach's office of a bomb plot to blow up the Walker Memorial. Now, forgive me for thinking, was it the responsibility of the Irish government to notify the Stormont government of this bomb plot? Did the Irish government have an onus or responsibility to report that there was going to be a bomb explosion blowing up a monument, which is to the history of the apprentice boys of Derry? Does this in fact make the Irish government an accessory? Were they withholding information? So to recap, Captain James Kelly of Irish G2 Military Intelligence stated that on his final visit to Belfast, it was on the second week of September in 1969. On this occasion, he was accompanied by Seamus Brady, director of a Dublin public relations firm, who at that time was working for the propaganda unit formed by the Dublin government. Captain Kelly goes on to say, on the first 2 days of our visit, Seamus made the promised introductions, after which I was left to my own devices while he concentrated on his propaganda unit duties. A meeting was arranged in Gerry Fitt's house on Saturday, September the 13th. An initial get-together was arranged between Gerry Fitt, Billy Kelly, his brother John Kelly, and others. This took place in Gerry Fitt's sitting room, which was overlooking the Antrim Road in Belfast.